Jason, as it is each and every week, the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast is brought to the good people by Budget Blinds of Lee Summit.
Budget Blinds!
Hey, it's still October. Do you know what October is?
I know what it is. It's fall.
It is true. It is fall, but it is safety month in the window treatment world.
It is, and you can make your shades and shade process safer by automating them.
It's better for the children, it's better for your pets, and it's better for your energy bill.
And it's better for you to get ahead on the all hail our robot shade overlords. Get in early so you have a space at the front of the line, not the back of the line.
So if you are ready to make your home more efficient and safer, go see our good friends at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. Tell them Jason and Nick sent you.
Hello again, and welcome to Lee Summit Town Hall, a weekly podcast about what you can do to make a difference. I'm Jason Norbury, and as always, I am joined by a man who wonders why the hand has to be a skeleton. It's Nick Parker, the publisher of Link to Lee Summit.
That was a very subtle reference to our pre-show caffeinated beverage.
It was. I'm just here to be helpful. Link to Lee Summit is the source for all the news you need about our very fine city, and our unofficial sponsor is this chair. Because after our interview that we recorded, that you will hear at the end of this episode that we recorded before we're recording this part, I was standing, and now I get to sit, and the world is a better place.
Sitting is better.
All right, so what's going on, Nick?
Well, we got some new things happening, Jason. There are some new restaurants in town, some new openings. One of them you just hinted at, and that is in downtown Lee Summit. Hand in Glove is officially, finally, open for business. It is a great little coffee shop, and then in the evenings, a nice little bar.
Yeah, it's true. It is. It's a lovely little place. It seems to be very popular so far. The owners, the Veritasis, have been working on getting it open for something, and I may overestimate this slightly, on the order of about 26 years. Waiting to get this open.
26 years, 3 months, 4 days.
Yeah, not that we've been counting. But this week, it is finally officially there. It is a thing. It is very cool. We stopped over there for a little pre-show caffeination, enjoyed ourselves. Very interesting to look at. Get downtown and go see it.
Jason, there's another new restaurant. This one's not downtown.
It's true. It's on 291.
I know.
So look, hey, people who might accuse us of being very downtown centric, here we are. We're branching. We're branching out a little bit.
Bella's, a new Italian restaurant at 291 and 5th Street in downtown. If you remember, that's where the old Docks was, or maybe Jazz, depending on how far back you want to go. Great new Italian place. Hey, Jason, are you interested in running for public office again?
No, because I like to be married.
Well, if I were, it, there's an event for you coming up. Lee Summit Chamber is hosting a candidate panel running for public office from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, October 29th. That'll be at the Gamber Center.
We got some former elected officials, a couple of the current ones that are term limited and on their way out. They're going to answer questions, helping you figure out like what it means to run, what it means to serve, what your commitments are, what potential conflicts, dealing with the fundraising, all that good stuff. Well, okay, maybe not good stuff, but all that stuff that you need to sort of understand before you jump in to become a public official.
I don't want to go too deep into when you ran for office, but how much would a session like this have helped you be prepared when you did consider and then when you did run?
I think that there's some, obviously I didn't win, so I couldn't even answer the question on like what it would be like to serve. But in terms of just the campaigning part, I think if there had been maybe some more realistic setting of expectations about fundraising and time and all those sorts of things, it would have been helpful to understand that going in instead of that very, very steep learning curve you have while you screw stuff up for a while before you can get it right.
Well, so if you have any thoughts of maybe running for public office, because there are some elections coming up in the spring, there'll be some seats open on the city council, there'll be some school board elections coming up. So if you have a thought about it and you want to know more, this will be a great event, 6:30 to 8, October 29th at the Gamber Center.
Free and open to the public.
Jason, I need to take a little break for story time. Are you ready for story time?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Story time.
So a couple weeks ago, I was approached by some of our loyal listeners, and they are some local business leaders. Let's say that. They approached me with a bit of a furor. They were worked up, and they wanted to talk to me about that co-host of mine, Jason Norbury.
Uh-oh. What did I say this time?
Well, here's the deal. For once, it wasn't about something you said on this show. It was actually something that you posted on social media. Jason, you disparaged hamburgers. And these two business partners were not happy.
All right. So let's start with the hot take that I gave. So I'm going to put it right out there, and here it is. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Give it to me. Give it to me. Hot take.
Hamburgers are mediocre. Well,
all right.
I know you and I, really, when it boils down to it, we are Team Taco.
That's true.
Honestly, we're Team Food. But we're really, if we had to pick, right, a thing, you and I are going to stand for
If
tacos.
you are going to take a standard fare, which I think these are kind of equal things, right? Taco and burger on
my
the
argument
same.
is that they're not equal things, but yes.
The taco has more opportunity for greatness than burger.
Right, and I don't want to say that hamburgers are bad, because that is not what I'm saying. Because, look, I enjoy a burger. I enjoy even like sometimes just a run-of-the-mill fast food drive-through burger. I will enjoy that from time to time. But my point is that you can only go so high with a hamburger. In the end, it's ground beef on bread with some stuff, right? And you can fancy up the stuff, and you might be able to fancy up the meat a little bit. And bread, it's kind of bread. But it can only go so high. And apparently, some people, and I'm going to name some names here. Is it okay if I name names? It's not okay?
They know who they are.
I'm going to do it anyway.
All right.
Ben Wine and David Eames of the Fossil Forge and Local Foundry fame, they seem to think that what I said was some sort of offense. So fine, if you want to be offended, the answer simply is, bring it.
All right.
Bring you, and here, to borrow from the internet meme, burgers are mediocre.
Prove me wrong.
Change my mind.
All right, there you go. Dave, Ben, gauntlet thrown. Let the battle begin. Tacos versus burgers.
Tacos rule.
All right, enough nonsense, Jason.
That is not nonsense. That is perhaps the most serious business we have ever discussed on this podcast.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Let's get into, I want to go back to our roots. So we started this podcast with, Jason, what are the words when you open every show?
What you can do to make a difference.
All right. Well, we are getting back to that with an interview today with two people from the Sunrise Rotary Club in Lee Summit. We are talking about Feed LS, an event that is supporting 4 local charities.
Absolutely, it's a good interview. I think they have the changes and what they're doing with this, I think, stems from a mission to do more than they've been able to do in the past, and I think they have a good little story, some good information, and let's hear from them now.
Here is David Fritz and Carl Freshley.
We are here with David Fritz and Carl Freshley from Sunrise Rotary, here to talk to us about something new that they are doing in the community to support some of our big charities. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Doing well. Thank you for having us.
Doing really well. Yes, thank you for having us.
Well, we are glad you're here. I want to talk a little bit about Feed LS. This is kind of a rebrand of what has been an annual event in Lee Summit, and it's a chance for people to help out some of our local charities. So tell us a little bit about what Feed LS is.
Well, Feed LS is really the precursor to Feed LS. Has been an annual event that's gone on for 11 years, known as Empty Bowls, and that was an event that usually happened in the weekend prior to the Super Bowl, the Saturday evening before the Super Bowl each year, and it occurred at the Longview Mansion. And it was an event where we had area restaurants come in to offer food samplings of both recipes of soups, desserts, and breads. It was.
And all right, so you've been doing that. You had been doing that event for a number of years. So what was the decider to? Well, I guess let's do it this way. What has changed? What is changing with the event becoming Feed LS?
Well, part of what's changing is we decided as a club that we wanted to raise more money. We realized that there are several agencies in our community that need our help. In the past, we've helped 1 to 2 agencies, and this year we're branching out to help all 4, which we think are the 4 major food providers. So
hold up, before you go on, let's get those 4 out there. So we're going to practice who we're supporting. So what are those 4 agencies?
They are Coldwater, Lee Summit Social Services, One Good Meal, and Meals on Wheels. Oh. And so we wanted to raise more money in doing that. So we formed a committee, and that committee decided if we were going to raise more money, we'd have to find a different venue. We love the historic Longview Mansion, but it is limiting in the number of people that we could get in there. So we began to search and find a place, and luckily, John Knox Village was welcoming, and we're going to move to the pavilion, where we can have at least 500-600 people in there, and that's our ultimate goal. This year we're hoping for 500 people. So, and in the past we've been able to bring in about 300 to 325. So, a major step forward for us.
How have ticket sales been going so far? How can people get to tickets and commit to coming?
The easiest way to purchase a ticket or register to the event is to go on our website, or feedls.org is the address of which one can easily get in to register. The tickets or entrance is $60 per individual, and those are readily available at any time. We have at this point we probably have close to 300 people committed in terms of. So
you've got a good start.
Yeah, we're well under our way to reaching our goal of 500 this year. So we're excited about it. In the Empty Bowl days, we always sold that out, and we look for a sellout on this as an ultimate long-term goal as well.
So what is there a difference in the format and what's going to happen at the event this year that's a little bit different or something to bring people?
Yeah, it's really a different format completely. We're going to have a live auction, silent auction we've had in the past. We're also going to have some entertainment. As Carl mentioned earlier, we've got restaurants coming. We've significantly increased that number over years past. But we've also been able to contract with Tana Guthrie. Tana Guthrie is an auctioneer. You might be familiar with Big Slick event here in Kansas City. She did that event for them. So we're really excited. She's going to be our auctioneer. So we've got some really, really great items that we're going to be able to live auction this year, which is not something that we've done in the past. So that should help us tremendously.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the group behind this, which is your Sunrise Rotary Club, and you guys make a habit of really kind of digging in on some of these charitable causes. So I guess I want to know from you guys personally, why are you doing all this? What drew you in as a way to get involved and a way to support these things? Carl, I'm going to make you go first.
Okay. Well, I've always had a bit of a focus on mind from my personal perspective is to find ways to give back to the community. I've been very blessed to be in Lee Summit for a number of years now. And knowing that it's a community that's has a lot going for it, but there's still needs out there in the community. And this is a way for me to really find an organization that allows me to get involved, to be able to find events that can fundraise and direct those funds directly back to organizations that can meet the needs of those in the community.
David, what drew you into Rotary and maybe to this particular project as well? And then I know on your website you gave some pretty good information about like what the size of the need is in our community. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, what drew me to Rotary was I had retired and I wanted to be involved in our community. And I had a couple of friends that were in Rotary, one in the lunch group, one in the morning group, and ultimately I decided that Sunrise Rotary was a place for me.
That was the better of the groups, right?
That was the better of the groups,
Yeah.
at least I think. They're all good groups. Rotarians are all good people. But I also began to deliver meals for One Good Meal. And then I was asked to volunteer for Meals on Wheels. And my wife and I had always helped at Lee Summit Social Services, bringing food and those kinds of things. And I began to, as I talked to the people that lead these organizations, how great the need was. And then Coldwater came to Sunrise Rotary because they needed some help financially, and we purchased them some tables. But when we help you, we don't just help you financially. We also have to have a volunteer commitment. So we volunteered to help them. And then once we saw their need, we thought, wow, here's a great opportunity to put what we think are the 4 largest food providers in Lee Summit together and raise money. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's where my heart is, trying to make sure that nobody, no kid, no adult, no senior goes to bed hungry.
And I think that's an interesting thing because Lee Summit is, generally speaking, a very affluent community. And I don't think that people, and we have had this conversation, we've had all 4 of those fine charities on our podcast at one point or another, but it's difficult for a lot of people to understand that there is that much need in the community that's going on there. Carl, what about that? I mean, like, how do you feel like you're really making a dent in that process?
Well, I think as David had mentioned, by being involved in these food providers, these charitable organizations that are so successful here in the local community, you begin to, as you commit your time and effort to see the individuals that they're reaching out to, it really puts a person, a face, if you will, to the need in the community, and really see that there are a number of people, even in the Lee Summit area, that we feel is such an affluent community that there's a significant area that have people of need that we can see as we get involved in these organizations that are providing the needs to those individuals.
How important is it, do you think, for people to be able to see that, like you said, to put a face to it? Because Jason just mentioned that I think sometimes it's really easy in our community to forget or to not notice that there are some big needs out there. So how important is it, do you think, to tell that part of the story so that we can get more people involved?
Oh, I think it's very important. Until you can really personalize a need, I think people don't really internalize that themselves. So until you can really see individually a family, a child, do you really begin to understand that need is really out there, that we don't always equate to the community that we know as Lee Summit.
We like to, on this show, a lot of what we talk about is about how easy it is to get involved. So for you, when you saw some of these needs, and David, you too, when you saw some of these needs, how easy was it for you to feel like you could jump in and you could find a way to make some kind of impact?
Every one of these agencies needs volunteers. I mean, when I went to One Good Meal and said, hey, I want to help, they put me on a Tuesday route, and I've been on that Tuesday route now for 2 years.
Well, now you're stuck because Roberta will never let you go.
I'm stuck.
Yeah,
I'm stuck. It's a lifetime contract.
She gets her claws in and you're done. You're in there for the whole time.
Yeah. And then I went to Meals on Wheels. Again, it was a commitment by Rotary, and all we were supposed to do really is to volunteer one time, all of us, and we all did. But again, I fell in love with the people on the routes, and I said, hey, I want to do this full time. And they said, hey, how about you be a sub driver? And I said, no, I'm not a sub guy. I'm a starter, so I'm on Wednesdays.
Well, you and I talked the other day on the phone. You actually met a friend and somebody that you kind of got a little close to on your route, and I know there's kind of a sad part to that story as well. But talk a little bit, I guess, kind of the connection that you're able to make with people.
Well, when you deliver meals, these people, they're elderly, of course, and you're probably the only person that they see that day. I shouldn't even say probably very highly likely. And so you're checking on them. You're not just giving them food. You're making sure they're okay. If somebody doesn't answer that door, You call their phone number, you have their phone number, they don't answer, then you're calling Roberta or Meals on Wheels, and you're making sure that they're checked on. But you like these people, you talk to them, you ask them how they're doing, they ask you how you're doing. And naturally, when one of them passes away, it hurts, because look, I've been doing this for a couple of years and I see these people every week. I give their dogs treats if they have dogs, and you fall in love with them. And the gentleman that passed away was a World War II vet, and I just fell in love with the guy, and it's sad to see him go.
All right. Well, so Carl, let's talk a little bit about, so if someone wants to help with this particular problem and help you guys, what are the ways that they can do that?
Well, it's very easy just in terms of our event, Feed Lee Summit. There's a multitude of volunteer opportunities for that evening event to come in and assist if they'd like to do that. In fact,
I'm assuming you also take cash.
We do that as well, right. But to give you an idea, we're reaching out to the area high schools for their kids that need some community service hours. It's a readily source for opportunity for those kids to contribute their time to the community to an event that directly impacts the needy in the Lee Summit area. The club itself is just, we welcome anyone who wants to come in and just have breakfast with us some morning. Our club is involved in a whole multitude of community service opportunities. Another fundraising event that we have is we call Fly the Flag, where we provide the American flag as a service to the community for $50. A resident can have an American flag placed on either their place of residence, or a business 4 times a year during the 4 patriotic holidays of Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, Veterans Day. And we have a tremendous outpouring of that, of people wanting to participate in that just by a flag, if you will. We currently have close to 270 flags that we put out 4 times a year in that fundraising event, just to name a couple of avenues for people to get involved.
So if somebody, we talked a little bit. You can go online, you can register and get your tickets for this event. If somebody wants to join up, I'm going to let you give a little Rotary pitch here too. But if they want to get in, they say, "Hey, these Rotarians, they're doing stuff. How can I be involved?" So how easy is it for somebody to say, "Hey, I want to come. I want to join in. I want to be available for whatever it is"? David?
Like Carl said, just come and join us for breakfast. We meet almost every single Friday. We're not meeting this Friday. We're actually having a social event for us, but normally we're at the Gamber Center every Friday morning around 7 a.m. You can get some free coffee, free breakfast, sit in on a meeting, see if you like us, see if you like what we're about, and join us. What
are some of the other things in the community that you support, that you're involved in?
A lot of things. Carl, help me out here. We pick up trash on 3rd Street. We do that a couple of times a year. We gather money for what we call Shoes for Orphan Souls, where we send shoes to countries where kids and adults need shoes. Carl mentioned Fly the Flag program. Like I mentioned earlier, we've helped purchase some tables for Coldwater. Meals on Wheels needed food trays to go out to their people, so we bought them 100 trays, and those trays are expensive. Carl, what else?
Yeah, those trays are an example of through the Rotary organization itself, where funding is provided in grants that come back to the local community that a Rotary Club can direct toward projects that benefit the community. The past ones, the current one we're working on this year actually is through Prodeo, an organization that helps kids after school, and we're actually working in concert with all 3 Rotary clubs in Lee Summit to build a community garden at that Prodeo facility, which is on Chipman Road and the Chipman Road address, if you will.
Yep, so. Right there, just by Lee McKeegan Park.
Exactly.
Yep.
All righty. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Let's make sure we have all the important facts and figures for everybody. So what is the date of the event?
Feed Lee Summit will be on Thursday, November 14th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Pavilion at John Knox Village.
And if someone's interested in registering for the event or volunteering, where do they go?
www.feedls.org.
But give you
I'm
one.
gonna
try that.
I'm gonna have you do it one more time.
Right.
You fouled that pitch
let
off.
me whip that one up. Okay. www.feedlease. All right, Dave. It's all you, Dave. I don't have it in front of me.
Just go to feedls.org. Feedls.org. You can buy a ticket for $60, and you can buy a table.
That's why he's committee chair.
It is,
right there.
right.
Right there is
He
why
is-
he's
he is
committee
top
chair.
dog.
He's
top
on, he's
dog.
on time. Well, David and Carl, thank you guys for taking time to come in. We wish you the very best of luck, and I hope you meet all your goals so that we can support all of these wonderful agencies.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
very much.
Thank you, guys. You have been listening to Lee Summit Town Hall, a Link to Lee Summit podcast with hosts Nick Parker and Jason Norberry. A proud member of the Fredcast Network, you can subscribe to this podcast on most of your favorite podcast apps and catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for all the news, analysis, and conversations on the Lee Summit community. Connect with us on Facebook at Link to Lee Summit or on Twitter at LS Town Hall.